There we go. All right, YouTube should be up and running, so let me just double check. Make sure that we're all good to go. I knew I was going to play an ad. Hold on. YouTube is in fact up and running, which means now we're going to boot up Twitch, make sure everything's running over there. Boink. I want to say in advance of this particular episode that I was experiencing some crazy lag on my PS5 earlier, so I'm a little worried that we're also going to get some crazy lag here. I don't know if it was my internet or the PS5 specifically, so I'm like, we'll see how it goes. On the bright side, nobody's knocked down any telephone poles today. All right, Twitch is up and running as well, which is good for me. Wink. Tonight's episode or stream is going to be a little bit different because I think we're down a lot of people. DM Shin, unfortunately, won't be joining us tonight. Or if he does, it'll be super late. DM Lacara, usually late, so not so bad. But she won't be able to join us next week, which is a bummer. But tonight, we're here for adventures. Y'all voted for it, so here it is. There are going to be... Okay, hear me out. Generally speaking, from the episodes of adventures that we've done previously, we've really only been able to get through one adventure per stream. But tonight, this particular adventure that we're going to look at first, the Free Epic Encounters adventure, All Out Goblin War, is not necessarily like a full adventure. It's actually a mashup of two of the Epic Adventure sets, which I also happen to already own. But and would love to run some people through at some point. But it's not like a fully fleshed out adventure as some of the other ones would be. Like, it's very short. So I figure we can finish that in this one particular stream, and then also take a peek at something system agnostic that is very, very easy to go through. It's just 1 page long. Technically, it's 1 page separated into 8 because it's supposed to be a zine, but I didn't realize that because most of the other zines that I've looked at are have multiple things in them, and then I was like, oh, this is being advertised as a zine, so it could have fit into the zine section, but zines seems like nobody ever votes for, so I actually took them out of the running for episodes, and we'll just fit their stuff into another night's vote. It doesn't seem like anybody really wants to go through a zine. What's up? How are you doing? I didn't realize that horses bit wood, like that was a thing. Or did he kick? What did they kick? I'm so confused. Aw, well, it makes you feel any better. I was in the same boat with you. But technically, we're gonna look at a zine, so that makes more sense. Just straight up. I mean, I guess it's better that no one was there to get kicked. Thankfully, never been kicked by a horse, but damn do I know that it hurts. They got the big feet. I am actually gonna go to like 8:10. I don't know when everyone else is showing up, if they're showing up, so I'm not gonna wait like the 15-20 minutes for people. Just gonna start at like 8:10. If you're not in my time zone or watching this later, 10 minutes from now. Chugga chugga choo choo! Did you know you're the conductor? I didn't realize that's what that symbol symbolized. I did not realize you were the conductor. The only conductor I've ever been is the conductor on the poop train in Borderlands 2. I love me some Krieg. I love him. I am the conductor on the poop train. What? What's happening? Resub! You didn't have to do that. Ooh. Thank you. You reminded me. I'm going to change some of my sound effects. I don't know when I'm going to do it, but I'm going to do it. And I wrote it down, but I don't know where I wrote it down. I gotta, where are you? Where are you, dude? Oh, here we go. Channel, voice clip for members. Boom. Thank you for reminding me. I don't blame you. I will also say I'm happy that the YouTube, if you're watching this stream on YouTube, YouTube has a new thing where they just shrink your screen down and then play the ad next to your like viewing area, which honestly I think is super nice. I wish more things had stuff like that if you're going to force me to watch an ad. I don't know if it happens every time, but when I run the Forbidden West stream, at least on that computer, it like shrinks my viewing area and puts me in like split screen with the stream and the ad right next to each other. And I was like, oh, that's a neat little feature. I feel like people would get less mad about ads if all the ads were like that. Ooh, speaking of YouTube, we are, what was it, 9 subs away from the next giveaway? And I think I decided that for the next giveaway for YouTube, I'll be giving out some of the Pathfinder book cover posters that I got a couple years ago at Comic-Con. I think those are pretty D&D related. All things considered. I think people who like D&D would be into those. Only 9 subs away. We're really, really far away on the Twitch side. Currently, if you haven't been on the channel for a while, I have not done a giveaway in quite a while. But up until 1,000 subscribers on YouTube or followers on Twitch, it's every 100 I do a giveaway. And like Twitch hasn't moved up that much, so I haven't done a giveaway in a long time. But on YouTube, until I get to 5K subs, it's every 250 I do a giveaway. So we're 9 away on YouTube, which is nice. We were stuck in like the I want to make words one day. My train of thought just chugga-choo-chooed away. Wow. What has happened? What's up, Dex? We were in the 1720s for like 4 months on YouTube. I don't know why. I would get a whole bunch of subs and they'd all just disappear. And I was like, are they all bots? That's weird. So we were just stuck in the 20s. I would only go like up 10 and then lose 10 and then up 10 and then lose 10 and then up 10 and then lose 10. What is happening? What is going on? You're chugga. I don't even know how to. Okay. You know what? I think I gotta start doing Maybe they'll be okay. Huh. Uh, maybe the. What is, guys? What's going on? Oh no! Are you guys coordinating? What's happening? Well, I fixed the scrolling text uh for the stream next week, but I guess I'm gonna be updating it. Oh my god, you guys are insane! You don't have to. Oh my god, I haven't even done anything yet. What's going on? Oh, I'm gonna cry. Okay. I need to compose myself because I have to turn on my camera later. Ooh, ooh, okay. Ooh. Okay, just gonna blow my nose for a little bit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you. Uh, oh, you guys are amazing. You don't have to do all this for me and for the rest of the round table, but we appreciate it. Oh, I did get to I taught Evil Crossover, who sometimes pops into the chat. He has a really, really big YouTube channel. I got to teach his son how to play D&D over the weekend, and he was like, "Why aren't you streaming it?" I was like, "What do you mean? I'm not ready to stream. I just want to like use you guys as guinea pigs to see how nice it'll be." And he streamed it, and he was like, "Yo, why don't you just teach kids to play D&D?" And I was like, "Bro, I mean, I would if I had kids, if I had other kids to teach. It's not like I can just go grab children. That's scary." You guys are too good to me. You're too good. You guys are too good. Oh my god. Okay. I'm gonna compose myself. I have 2 minutes to compose myself. Ooh, okay. 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 I can do this. Also, I can't believe Oxford Comma hasn't realized yet that you're not making jokes about having horses and working with horses. Actually a horse girl. Like, I I think she just missed a couple steps there. Wait, what? You have an actual horse? Yeah. I also have to know, how often do you say, "Look at my horse. My horse is amazing." Probably wouldn't lick a horse though. The next line kind of, I guess so. I'm just imagining whenever someone says a horse has to be like a little shit, I just imagine like a miniature pony with like a evil smirk. It's true. It's all true. Oh my god. Everybody's a subscriber. This is insane. So many subscribers. But also, hi Grim. I have no idea when any of the other DMs are showing up tonight, so I'm just going to start. And to start it off, let me change the mute. Oop, nope, that's not it. There we go. Boom. Okay, so the first adventure. Oh, it's a it's a big boy. Um, the the first adventure, the all-out Goblin War. is a little strange because it's not necessarily one regular adventure. It's actually a mashup of two adventures that you could get from Steamforged games, which I will, if I didn't already, on the YouTube description, I'll post the link. Did we unlock another emote? Honestly? That's a fantastic emote. For a D&D stream, an evil cat? Oh, yes. You guys are freaking fantastic. I couldn't get any of this done without y'all, and I just... you guys are awesome. But if you're on YouTube, you can follow along via the links in the description. If you're on Twitch, boop, I'm going to throw it here, and I'm going to pin it for the next, I'm going to say 60 minutes. I don't know how long this is going to take, but I think 60 minutes is good. Yes. No, you're correct. Oh, I can only do 30 minutes. That's new. Interesting. All right, I'm going to say manually unpinned then. Sure, that's fine. But cool thing about it is Steamforged Games releases these things called Epic Encounters, and it's basically a whole adventure in a box. So this particular Steamforged game adventure is actually built out of two of those Epic Adventures boxes. So I'm going to show them to you because I own both of them. And they would be great to just be like, if someone's holding an event or something and you were like, oh, you guys want to play D&D? I'm just going to bring this whole box with me. It's got everything that I need in it. So if I can figure out which button I'm looking at, this one. Hi, everyone. This is Epic Encounters, Labyrinth of the Goblin Czar. They're British, so they spell Czar weird. But in these boxes, you get a whole bunch. Nope, stop zooming out, you stupid AI camera. Thank you. Stay right here. Appreciate that. In this particular box, you get 20 miniatures. 9 of them are unique sculpts, so there are duplicates. 3 tokens, a double-sided game mat, the book, the monster stat box, and tips and tricks for building things. So basically, it looks like this. Oh, there's so much glare because I haven't unboxed them yet, because at some point, I will be unboxing all of these, and I would love to just run people through them. But this one is Labyrinth of the Goblin Czar. And then, because I like goblins so much, it's funny that you guys just happened to say you were in goblin mode, because the other one is also goblins. This is, come on AI camera, where's the face? You can find it, I believe in you. This is Village of the Goblin Chief. And this one also has 20 miniatures. Where's the camera? I'm going to find it. You get a double-sided game mat, the book, the monster stats, and more tips and tricks. But this one looks a bit more like this. You gotta just be big old goblins sometimes. So, in order to run this particular adventure, which I will switch back to now, you just need these 2 boxes, and you can play this whole adventure. Everything will already be set out. You have the maps, you have the miniatures for it. But one thing that you do have to note, and is the same on all of their boxes, is that there's a, you might need character sheets, role-playing rulebooks, and polyhedral dice. The rulebooks for these are set for 5e rules, so if you want to play Daggerheart or something else like that, you'd need to know the rules. But you will be bringing your own characters into these. So, this is a free adventure that is a supplement to their own supplements. This is all-out Goblin War. And you're basically fighting against, there's 2 warring goblin factions, and you have to decide how you're going to jump in and be like, yo, do we help these goblins? Maybe we help those goblins. Maybe we help no goblins. Maybe we help all the goblins. And that's what this adventure is all about. All the goblins ever. So basically, Steamforged Games is like, yo, you can buy so many more of these. But this is a all-out Goblin War. Goblins are the only creatures in Epic Encounters to have 2 sets. I don't know if that's still true. When this was released, yes, that was true. I don't know if that's still true because there are a lot of epic encounter sets. And also, I own more than just these two. So at some point, I'm going to get to them. I have the microphone in my mouth. Sorry if it's peaking. But goblins are classic low-level monsters. It's true. Everybody loves goblins. Everybody's got a boblin. For my campaign, it's actually Droop is the goblin that they first adopted, but now they have a whole settlement of goblins that they take care of. So totally can relate. But goblins have and continue to be depicted in such a range of different ways that they can be reflected. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah. You could make the goblins good. You could make the goblins evil. Whatever. That's, I mean, the same for any series, really. But all-out goblin war. You used two of them together, and then and you make your own game with them. So technically, this particular epic encounter story will not use necessarily the same stat blocks that are provided in the two epic adventures. These are sort of remade to be part of another thing that just happens to be happening. So don't necessarily take this as this is exactly what you're getting in those two epic encounters boxes, because it's not really. This is something totally separate. But if you have the two of those, you can do this too. Yeah, you can, like these. I love goblins riding goblins. Let me rephrase. Not in the sexy way, but yeah. Oh, you know what I can do that I realized I should have been doing the whole time I've been doing this? Whoops, that's not the button I was looking for. Wrong screen. Boop, there we go. I'm just going to full screen it. I don't need the top. I know what's going on. So, what you'll need to get this going. The Labyrinth of Goblins are miniatures. Sure, we've got those. The Village of the Goblin Chief miniatures. Got those too. And then you only need one of the maps. One side of one of the maps, because all the maps in there are double-sided. But these are... Oh, yeah, I can make it even bigger. No, we don't need that top. Get out of here. These are all the weird little minis that are part of those sets. And now you're going to... Look, we got frog riding goblins. We got those. We got a big old snail. We got forest hag goblins. We got a goblin that wishes he was a hobgoblin, but he's not. And I'm sorry for that, bro. But yeah, scenario overview. All-out goblin war engulfs the Underkingdoms, throwing the pathways traveled by thousands of adventurers, traders, exiles, and more into chaos. No one ever pretended the ways beneath were safe exactly, but they were at least navigable, and with a few precautions, largely survivable. But now, well, now there's simply chaos and blood and hordes of screaming goblins, and someone needs to stop it, quickly and for good. That's my angry goblin, by the way. Look, they're in the bog. Okay, I'm going to start using this phrase, goblin on goblin viciousness, in my campaign, because there are goblins that fight each other, for sure. But there's two leaders that you need to deal with here. They're both goblin kings in this scenario. They hate peace. They hate each other. However, they're both going to be on the same battlefield at the same time. So what are you and your party going to do? This is an encounter, but it can easily become an adventure or even a whole campaign. For sure. That's why I said, like, this particular adventure isn't necessarily as fleshed out as some of the other things we've done here. This is kind of a, if you have these two sets, let's make something new. And that's what you're doing here. You're making something new. You're having fun with this. So, if you want to, really spread this out, get people in there, get your players in there, figure out what's going on, work backwards from what's here already. How are the Goblin Kings lured to this location? You could say, like, yo, one of these Goblin Kings, he's all about honor, in air quotes, in his own way. And so he's like, I'm not going to let my men go out there and die if I can also be there to fight. So boom, 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 there he's going. Or maybe like someone told them they can assassinate the other and gain all the glory if they show up at this battlefield. Maybe that someone was you or someone in your party. You don't know. Tell me about your hobgoblin idea. I love hobgoblins. I love all goblinoids. Actually, for my campaign, I was trying to figure out what my BBEGs were going to be, and then one of our players, DT, was like, "Yo, I want to be Goblin Slayer," and I was like, "Okay." And then I looked at him, and I looked at his character sheet, and I went, "Yeah, yeah." And so goblins are our main bad guys, and it just so happened to be that Lost Mines of Phandelver starts with goblins because, like they said here, like everybody fights goblins or kobolds, really. And I will say, the fact that goblins and kobolds are sort of interchangeable is whack. They're not really that interchangeable. I mean, yes, they're both low-level minions, but kobolds are supposed to be super smart. They're supposed to be like descended from dragons and stuff. Like they're not supposed to be dumb as hell. They're supposed to be out there making trips and traps and what have you. And yes, goblins can make trips and traps too, for sure, for sure. But they're not usually as intellectually powerful about them. But how did the characters discover the identity and layers of the two Goblin Kings? Did they start like did your party start like capturing goblins along the way and being like, "Who do you work for? Who's your master?" And hopefully someone said at some point, just like Star-Lord, "What do you want me to say? Jesus Christ?" Like, oh, hopefully someone did that. Or like, "Where do you know where these layers are?" Presumably, because you're on a pathway that is very heavily traveled, that is not where the goblin lairs are. Presumably. So somebody's got to figure out where these goblin lairs are. Maybe you can spend, if you wanted to turn this into a longer thing, or maybe like a 3-shot instead of a 1-shot, you spend a whole session just tracking and doing recon on some goblins to figure out where their leaders are, where their home base is. Like, oh, we're going to hunt them. We got to hunt them. And then the last point here is, how do the characters learn of the Goblin Civil War? There are, in fact, hooks here to cover that particular one, for sure. But you can come up with some on your own, too. Maybe the players are hired by a particular merchant whose stuff keeps getting robbed or just straight up destroyed. But for anyone new to the art of writing or plotting out adventures, the above is a really great step. Yeah, make a reason for your players to be there. I'm not saying it has to be perfect reasoning, but generally speaking, when you're running an adventure or something, you want your players to feel like, you want those characters to feel like they're in the world. Like they have some reason to be where they are. I also think this is a good idea. Like you can come up with the gimmick and then the why. I will eventually do a delving into your DMs on this particular topic, like how I come up with adventures, because I personally, sorry, I was writing something down and was, okay, I have a really bad habit of whenever I write something down, I say it out loud if there are other people who can't see what I'm writing. So in order to not say out loud what I'm writing, sometimes I just don't talk. Apologies. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Oh, starting an empire, and then you gotta give them a goblin mech. Make it not make it less scary than the goblin mech boss in Dungeon Defenders, though. Big, scary dude with like a weak point in his back and spinny arm blades and stuff and like cannons, but just a huge pushover. We just ran train on this poor gigantic mech. I run train on it every time. Sorry, dudes. Uh, Oh. Okay. That's so good. Just constantly blasting the only thing they fear is you. Yes. 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 Uh, so when I usually write an adventure or something or what have you, I in fact do this. I start with what the gimmick of this thing is, and then I work my way back from that. Like, why would they be here? What is it actually going to do for them? But I know what that gimmick is, and then I can pick. If I know what the gimmick of the encounter is, then I can pick enemies to be there to inhabit that area too. I think this is very good advice. Work backwards from when you have like your really good idea to why those people are there. Granted, if the people you're playing with are just like the only thing they fear is me and I just want to murder everything, you don't have to do too much of that work. But it's good to have a good idea about like what you're gonna do and why you're there in case some of your players have there. Some of your players do think about that kind of stuff. And so here are the hooks. How'd the players get here? Miles underground, about to enact a complex plot to try and finish a goblin civil war before it gets even bloodier. There's a few hooks to explain this. So you can use these or you can come up with your own. It's up to you. You dwell in the underways. This is your home, and you'll be damned if they'll let it be destroyed just because two goblin tribes can't stop killing each other. I didn't even think of that before. Maybe you just live underground. You're part of whatever this underkingdom is. You live down here, and they're fighting, and they're messing stuff up for you. Maybe you're like the Pied Piper. You already made the Hero Forge? Come on. I need to... Grimbo, are you still here? I don't think anybody else from our party is here, but Grimbo, are you still here? If, Grimothy, you are in fact still here, are you getting people new minis for D&D Versary? Because I was going to upgrade Nara's mini as well, but I didn't because I thought you were going to. I upgraded the Laundry Kings. That one I did upgrade. But yeah, maybe you just live underground. Maybe you're like a Pied Piper and they're killing your pets. They're getting caught in the crossfire. Maybe you're Drow on the run and they're bringing way too much attention over here and you're going to get turned into a spider and you don't want that. Or maybe a delegation from the peoples of the Underways arrives in town asking for assistance. Beaten and weary, they implore the surface dwellers for help. You responded. For sure! Bounty board. It's on the bounty board. Listen, I know it's cliche, but there's bounty boards everywhere, man. Like, every fantasy whatever has a bounty board somewhere. You might as well use it. It's a hunch. This doesn't feel right. It's not just the Goblin Civil War in the Underkingdoms. It's the assassination of the Merchant Prince. It's the kidnap of the Vizier in the Twilight Empire. A plan is being woven, and you might find clues to who is weaving it if you venture beneath the ground. This is if you're starting a campaign, the Goblin, this is like the level 8 thing that happens. Like, there's still more campaign. You don't really know what the big problem is yet, but you know some bad stuff is happening. There's so many things happening. They've all got to be connected. Get out your Charlie Day pinboard with your red yarn. You're going to figure this out. Your party's going to figure this out. Political intrigue? Who doesn't love that in a campaign? So, starting the encounter. The battle begins with characters at the center of the labyrinth. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. The forest goblins begin at one extreme edge of the map, and the cave goblins begin at the other. It doesn't matter which goblins start on which edge. You came to the middle. You're in the middle. They're fighting around you. Now you're caught in the crossfire. I can't not. I have to. Crossfire, you get caught up in the crossfire. I have that game downstairs too, but You're caught in the crossfire. This is not how I thought this encounter was going to go. I assumed they were already fighting in the center and you were approaching from one of the sides. No, no, no. You came down there looking for them, and you damn well found them because they found you. So, terminology. For the sake of convenience, we're referring to the goblins as either cave goblins from the Labyrinth of the Goblins R set or forest goblins from the Village of the Goblin Chief set. This isn't how the goblins see themselves. They all live here, but rather than go with cave goblins and cavier goblins, we felt this was clear. That makes total sense. Listen, I'll be the first person to tell you, tell your players something that makes sense to them, but explain to them that this is how it's going to make sense for them. Like real world players, this makes sense to you. It might not be how these creatures see themselves within the world, but I want to make the gameplay experience as easy as possible for you as players to understand. So I definitely, yes, just explain it to them. Make sure that they understand. I do have a delving into your DMs on this particular topic already, on how like, yo, you got to explain everything because you're the DM. Your players will think it's your fault if you don't, no matter what. Even if it's something one of the other ones explained. Because you're the DM, your players are going to take it as your fault. So just make it easy for everybody. Explain things as much as you can and make sure everybody's on the same page. But running the encounter to aim. The aim for the characters is to assassinate both of the Goblin Kings. Oh, go on in there. However, I'm just going to say that, like, if all these are chaos goblins, even if you take out their leaders, that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to stop fighting. So take for that what you will. But the aim of the characters is to assassinate both of the Goblin Kings. They're easily identifiable. One is mounted on a gigantic grub. The other wears a powerful wooden mask. Look at this one. Look at this one. This guy's got powers. Clearly a spellcaster of some kind. This is a booyog, if I've ever seen one. But that mask, think of it like the mask. It's got powers, man. That's a magic item that maybe you can get off of him if you can kill him. The Goblin Kings remain on their respective edges of the map. Why would they risk their own lives when endless hordes of devoted goblin servants can risk theirs instead? So like I said before, maybe one of them's into honor. Clearly the way this is written, none of them are into honor. But that doesn't mean the goblins that you're running in particular have to be against doing things honorably, like going out and fighting. But the two goblin armies fill the labyrinth, charging at one another or at the characters as soon as they see them. This makes the labyrinth a death trap, but also potentially a means of distraction. Yes, because you're right in the center, there's problems on both sides of you. But if they're just going to attack whoever they see, why not lure them to the others? Watch them fight. If you can stay hidden long enough and you're watching these two tribes fight, maybe it'll help you go in and pick them off one by one, like the murder hobos that you are. But encourage the characters to think of ways to sneak through the maze, to set the different goblin tribes against one another in order to grant a means of sneaking through and dodging the worst of the trouble. Yep. If the characters try and fight their way through, being overwhelmed by sheer weight of numbers is a definite possibility. They need to be smarter than just charging straight in. A little. Yeah, it's a problem. I want to be this EP so early. It's because I screamed so much at Rivals earlier. I guarantee that's what it is. Also, I'm full of dinner. I had too much dinner again. That's a problem. I'm gonna get fat. This is just a big problem that I think a lot of people playing TTRPGs think, that just because there's an enemy mini on the map or like there's an enemy there, that means I gotta kill it. And I will say, sure, I'm guilty of this. Generally speaking, when I'm playing a video game, if I see an enemy, I'm gonna kill it. But sometimes you gotta know when you're outmatched. You gotta leave. I logged in to do my stupid dailies because I needed a screenshot to make the thumbnail for next week. And then I was like, well, sorry, I logged in to get that thumbnail, and then I was like, oh, I have easy dailies today. I might as well do them. DM Lacara is extra late today. DM Shim also going to be extra late today. I don't know where DM Speedy or VF are. DM Speedy is popping up online. VF is not. I don't know. I'm thinking whenever someone else joins, DM Speedy will jump in too. That is my guess. He's nervous. He's like, I didn't join you. He's been in the DM Roundtable chat for, I don't know, like 4 or 5 months. And when he joined for Cardina was the first time where he was like, hey, I'm glad I joined. Like, I've been waiting because I didn't feel like I was up to it. And like I wasn't good enough. And we're like, yo, don't worry about it. Like, nobody here is a perfect DM. Not even Matt Mercer or Jeremy Crawford or Joe Cat are perfect DMs. Nobody's perfect. Don't feel like you're not good enough. Everybody's good enough. You might not be running the game that other people want to play or specific people want to play, but everybody's good enough. That's just the way it is. Thank you. You know what? In order to help that out, for those of you on YouTube who don't know, AWAS is sharing all the Nightbot commands. So, wait, no, where is it?
Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push your button.
Push those buttons. Also, remember, we're only 9 subs away on YouTube from the next giveaway. 9. Just 9 away. And yeah, I'm going to be giving away posters from Pathfinder. I think I'm going to do more than one. I'm probably going to just do the set of the ones that I have is what I'll send in the poster tube. Yeah. 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 Okay. And then Cave Goblin. Oh, so the cool thing here is they're giving personality to the 2 different types of goblins. So even though it's all chaos, and the goblins are just like, you totally don't have to run it that way. You can totally instead run them as pretty smart beings. Granted, if they're goblin kings, if they're leaders, if they're groups, they've clearly got a leg up on the rest of the competition. You know what I mean? So, Cave Goblin tactics. These are the ones that we said before are from Labyrinth the Goblins are. Their tactics are: their king, Sad Guts, sits on his grot grub. He stays back with his 2 trusted seers, the Unseelie Sisters, who cast spells to ensure his protection. He's not interested in fighting until absolutely necessary. He's not much of a fighter. He prefers ordering others to do that for him. So for sure, he'll just be like, get them, my minions. And then he'll have 2 mages that are providing backup. He's got pocket healers, yo. His goblins charge through the labyrinth in mobs consisting of 2 spider riders, a goblin lobber, and 2 goblins armed with knives or swords. 2 of these mobs roam the labyrinth, and should one be wiped out, another emerges to replace it immediately. That's bonkers. But you also need to understand that goblins populate pretty quickly in like most fantasy, so they be fucking, and they have many babies to spread. So yeah, being overrun by goblins, totally plausible. Alongside these mobs of murderous creatures. Oh, the giant centipede named Many Legs, originally enough. And its trainer roam around aiming to paralyze their victims and drag them back for Sad Guts to interrogate painfully. So your players could even be like, oh, we need to get captured. Maybe they see someone get captured and brought back to Sad Guts, and they're like, yo, what if we all just get paralyzed and brought back there? And surely some of your party is going to be like, Yo, what do you mean? I don't want to die. And they're like, no, we'll figure out that next part when we get there. Okay. Okay. We just need to get there. So let them take us. There'll be less fighting. What's up? Who's that?
Hello?
Hello.
Is it really just you on here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you poor thing.
It's just me.
Oh.
I
Aw.
suspect, since you've joined the call, that DM Speedy will join in momentarily. I have a feeling he's waiting for someone else to show up. That's my guess. But I'm going to share this in here. I think I did already, actually, but I'm going to do it again. Yeah, because I sent the PDF for the other one later. We're not there yet, don't worry. But welcome, DM Lacara. Welcome.
Hello.
It's true.
Is
I am too EP.
this Oh, let me log into the Twitch. I am not prepared this week. This week, it's Monday and it's shaping up to be a week.
Oh.
Okay, what do I got going on? He's too
What?
epi. What does epi mean?
Oh, like sleepy. I'm EP. I keep yawning.
Oh.
It's really bad. I'm blaming
Oh
my
yeah, I'm
big
not
fat
gonna help
dinner.
with that. Okay. Cool. Okay, what are we looking at?
We are currently at the Forest Goblin Tactics portion.
Ooh.
So basically, this adventure here is Steamforged Games releases these things called Epic Encounters, and they're just boxed adventures. All the minis for them and the maps and stuff are already in the box. You just got to run it. It has like a little campaign book and what have you. But Steamforged Games was like, yo, if you've got 2 of these boxes, you can mash them together to make a whole nother adventure.
The minis are adorable.
They're so nice. I mean, as I scroll past Sad Guts, he's not. He's more creepy with the mask. But I think that'll be the magic item. If you can kill him, you can steal it for your players. Like your players now have that mask, whatever its ability might be.
Yeah, that seems like that should let you like face step or something.
Yes. Or maybe
Wait, is that
tree stride?
That sounds wrong. Tree stride, yeah, something like that. Or pass without trees.
Or go a little further, and it's like a mask with like no face, and then if he stares at you for long enough, he can steal your face, and it'll like transform his whole body to look like you.
Oh, that's creepy.
Would you like to take the Forest Goblin tactics? And feel free to say how you would change them or add to them or what you might do instead. That's what I've been doing.
do in fact know how the roundtable works. Okay, Forest Goblin Tactics. The Forest Goblin King, dubbed the Masked One, is always accompanied by 4 goblin bruisers acting as bodyguards. Bigger, heftier brutes, they never leave his side. Forest goblins charge out in groups of uniform troop types, so 4 frog riders initially enter the map during the first turn. Then a group of 4 deranged frog chewer goblins. It doesn't seem like you would keep frog riders in the same area as the frog chewers.
Yeah, like, are you just eating the mounts? That's interesting.
Seems like a bad idea.
Yeah.
Could they be like squirrel chewer? That's my first change. I'm making them squirrel chewer goblins. Because I want to see a fight to the death between a goblin and an oversized squirrel. Take that, Mark Rober. Follow them in turn 3, then a group of 3 goblins wielding sword and shield in turn 5, and then 3 goblins wielding short bows in turn 7. If any of these groups are wiped out, they respawn at the start of the next turn and re-enter the battlefield via the tunnel entrance. Is this some sort of like gladiatorial, like arena melee thing?
This is
I
not
did
how
not
I
look at this at all.
expected this was going to be at all. So the idea is that there's two warring goblin tribes and you want to stop them. So I was thinking, oh, you get to choose, like, am I going to kill this guy? Am I going to kill this guy? Or am I going to side with one of them? Am I going to side with both of them or none of them? But the way that they set up this encounter, you came looking for them and you just happened to be in the center of their next battle.
This seems a bit lazy.
I was like, how would you? I understand they're like, oh, there's a whole bunch of pathways in the underways and what have you, but I feel like you would know if you were in between two armies.
Also, I feel like sets of 3 or 4 goblins at a time does not constitute an army.
True.
And I'm preaching to the choir here. I've seen your lineups.
Yeah. True. And like even for the cave goblins, they were like, oh yeah, this group I understand that they're trying to employ you don't need all like a bajillion minis at once because more just keep coming, so you just keep respawning them. But I wasn't expecting the way that they're running it to be like this.
Yeah, honestly, this reads more like a board game.
Yeah.
Like if you wipe out this round of them, then like more respawn or something where like the story doesn't matter so much as the mechanic.
Which,
like, that's how this reads to me.
to be fair, would make sense for Steamforged because they do make a lot of board games.
I'm pretty sure I own some of them. What do they do?
I
was like, this sounds familiar.
That's a good question. Hold on.
Let's do a little propping for them. And also, as long as we're talking about propping, since my dear fellow streamer is not here tonight, I will have to take on the ad. So, people, if you're here and you're enjoying listening to this lovely content that Okami has so dearly provided for you, please hit the buttons. If you have money, hit the buttons that give Okami money. There are apparently a ton of Twitch subs that are up for grabs now. There is Twitch. There's Patreon. That's the thing. There's YouTube subscriptions and all sorts of things that I don't know the names for. But there are links for in the description of the video, or I think Okami can link them now if you're watching live with one of those magic commands. Or check out our Redbubble, where we have designed lots of silly, goofy, fun things for you to wear or put on things or graffiti buildings with. No, don't do that.
I mean...
to share your love of the channel. If you don't have money but wish you did, there's a free Patreon tier, and you can always like, subscribe, and share our wacky goodness with people that you want to have a little more wacky goodness in their life.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube Nightbot is fighting me now. Interesting.
I think AWAS has to do it now. It only listens to AWAS.
What do you mean my server commands other than me are blocked? Because I just did one. I'm confused. But I'm also realizing we don't have a Patreon button yet. I have to make a Patreon button.
Ah. You should do that.
Also, thank you guys for all those gift subs. I had to compose myself before I turned on the camera to show off the boxes, because I do, in fact, own so many of the Epic Encounters boxes, and I will eventually unbox them, and then hopefully just run people through the adventures in them.
Yep.
I also own a lot of Steamforged games that I haven't unboxed yet. Like, I have the entirety of the Elden Ring board game, all of the expansions, and all of the expansions for Street Masters, which technically they didn't make, but they took over from whoever the original owner was, and then they made the last expansion for it. I have all of that stuff.
It hurts me how many games you have bought purely for the minis.
Yeah, I have
that you like never intend to play. That just I am not even a hardcore board gamer. That hat goes to the resident bard, but it still just irks me.
I would love to. I wanted to play the Bloodborne board game, but I was like looking at the rules and I was like, this is too many rules for my friends. So I'm hoping the Elden Ring board game is easier to understand.
I mean, to be fair, well, no, I shouldn't say that. Never mind. But yeah, well, you should seriously at some point you should do some board game nights with our group, because I mean there is no game that we've ever looked at and said, "Oh, that has too many rules."
I have. Okay, so this is, I guess, a preview. One of the solo supplementals I'm going to do soon is the Psionic class by Kibbles Tasty, because he did release a whole book on all his homebrew stuff that has his remake of the Artificer, which is called the Inventor, and it has the Scion in it. And then he released smaller books that are just like the Scion and Inventor all by themselves, and like everything that you can do for it. And I realized that while his Scion is cool, and I prefer it to Matt Colville did in Strongholds and Followers. He has like Gem Dragonborn before they got released as like real D&D stuff. Before like the official ones came out, he released them, and they suck. Like they are the worst psychics ever, because the way that Matt Colville built psionics, it's like, oh, you have to use psionic points like key points, but if you're a Gem Dragonborn, you only get 3 total, and like all the abilities cost like 2 or more. So even at like level 20, you can only do like one thing. And I'm like, well, then why am I psychic? I might as well just breathe fire. Like there's no
Like
point
something else that levels, yeah.
I need some power. So Kibbles' Scion is very cool and it has tons of cool abilities, but there's too many things that you have to maintain. Like it has a stepping damage die based on how much psychic things you've done, but you also become exhausted if you stay at the same level for too many rounds or too many turns or too long. And I'm like, I could never trust my players to manage that.
And to be fair, I mean, I think a lot of that kind of thing may make it mechanically like more realistic in some situations, but also it really, really, it's the thing that makes me the most nuts about D&D is like there are just too many rules for you to stay sucked into the story for very long without having to track something. Like, I think a lot of the simpler, more narrative-based things, like Powered by the Apocalypse, make it a lot easier to stay immersed. Because you're like, okay, I'm rolling 2d6, now what? Tell me more story. It's not like, let me get my calculator out.
There was this post that came up a while back where this person was like, so I watched my fiance play D&D for the first time, and I always assumed it was just like a straight game, but this is just math with more steps. I was like, kinda.
Yeah.
And I was like, what if she watched him play Pathfinder?
Oh my god. I don't think that post would even have happened, because it just she just would have been like, nope.
But yeah, this is it is in fact very video gamey. That is a good point that I hadn't realized. And the way that this is written, so for the cave goblins, it's just if you kill someone, they respawn next turn. But this one with timed turns, definitely very, very board gamey.
Yeah. Interesting.
Interesting. But Heroes of the Civil War. What happens when your goblins fight each other? I will say that this next part, the Goblin Group AI, oh my god, roll initiative for each group of goblins. My players would never stand for that. How dare you?
Do they understand that in like real militaries, like people move as groups? They don't. Each person does not move individually.
You guys would just love my player. No, you would not. No. But I also feel like
played with Valley of Aderia, and that was fun. I feel like the rest of your group, I would want to murder.
Yeah. She's fun unless you give her something that she has to understand. She's also very, very much the kind of person that like has to be right even if she's wrong. And it will immediately become if you beat her at her own game, then she'll just attack you outright. Like, even if she loses, she doesn't lose with dignity.
That's a very special tagline.
Yeah. This next like Goblin Group AI section though, very board gamey, but I do think if you're running a lot of stuff at once, I like this kind of idea, or like even I do this, where if I think I just talked about this in the last delving into your DMs, but like when I run creatures, lately what I've been doing, because there's so much stuff happening on the board, I just write a sentence or like a trait next to each creature or like each group to be like, I think their motivation is. Like, this guy wants this item. And then when it's about to be their turn, I look at that and I'm like, oh, he wants this item. What's he going to do to go get that item?
Yep. Yeah. No, especially for new DMs, you need some kind of I mean, in board games they call it like automa or automata, or like you need some rule by which something will act, so you're not trying to figure it out 50 times in a scene.
Yeah. You definitely, yeah, the earlier you are into DMing, like the more baseline help you need, I think is the easy way to put it. What's up,
or if
Legal?
you're hideously what? Hey. Or if you're like me and you're hideously forgetful and you had a total plan for every single one of those characters and then you forget it 2 turns in.
Okay. One of the things earlier, they were like, hey, why don't you can tell your players you could try sneaking around, because most of these goblins just attack the first thing they see. So if you can lure one group into another group, you can basically watch them fight and then try to pick off the stragglers. And you could totally do that. Or maybe you can lure them all to one spot that you've set a trap for.
But what's the story here? Like, what's the motivation? Is this just like Goblin Fight Club? Like, what?
They're at war, but you don't really know why. That's part of it. You're supposed to be figuring out why. You just know that like no one can make it through these tunnels anymore because these goblins are always fighting. But I'm like, how do you get to the middle of the tunnels if they're always fighting? To be like between the two of them. You would have run into one of them before.
Yeah. Yeah, this seems a little late on the theme department.
They're not goblins! Listen. If you do want to play your goblins incredibly stupid, like, maybe your players came in here painted green, and you can be like, I'm totally a goblin!
Oh, God.
Because they have here, like, roll a d6. You could have just said flip a coin. It's the same idea. It's still 50-50 chance. Like, if they see both your party and more goblins, you're rolling to see who they're attacking first. I guess that sort of makes sense. But before they said, like, the cave goblins, one of the raiding parties for the cave goblin is a beast tamer and a giant centipede. and the centipede can paralyze people, and then they take people back to the king. Like, that particular group, for sure, is going to be like, I want to grab the smartest person here so I can bring them back. Or the one that I think is going to break most easily. This role shouldn't apply to them.
Yeah, they would definitely go either for the wizard or for whoever they think is going to do the most magic. Take out the biggest threat.
Kill them. Kill them all! Chaos! But then there's endings. There's different ways you could do this. But there's a couple possible endings. Maybe you kill everybody here, which I said this before. Like, goblins are not really. They're not generally portrayed as very smart, and
yeah,
like if you kill their leader, some of them might step down, but they're probably still gonna do crazy stuff because they're goblins.
Yeah.
I have my hands out wide, like in a shrugs, and then I was like, "Camera's not on. No one can see this." Or maybe you go to attack one, and like his guard comes to help you kill them, and somebody else kills him. They're like, yo, you can use this as like the whole basic idea for your campaign. Maybe there's a whole bunch of things in the world happening, and you're getting out like your cork board with your red yarn, and you're piecing it all together. Maybe it doesn't have to be just this adventure. And that's true. You could do whatever you want, really. Maybe you kill the leaders, and all the goblins are like, oh no, we're going to kill everyone who's not a goblin. And now the two tribes come together, and there's new leaders, and they all chase you out of the cave or come after you.
Or they adopt you as their new leader because, you know, you killed their leader, clearly you're the strongest, and now you are the undesired king of the goblins, and like they won't let you go.
Like
you're being held hostage, but you're their king.
In my campaign. Our Goliath has the crown of the Goblin King, and the ones from his kingdom all obey him because he has the crown. He carries it with him everywhere he goes.
Yeah, but does he want it?
He actually does want it. The rest of the party would rather he didn't have it, but he wants it.
Well, yeah, isn't like half your party all about killing goblins?
It's not like we have a guy. I was like, we have a guy in our party who wants to play Goblin Slayer, and that's how I chose the enemies for our campaign. And it just so happened that Lost Mine of Found Elver starts with goblins. I was like, oh, this is perfect. Thanks. Everything's just working. Everything's coming up goblin. A shirt or a design. I'm gonna write that down.
Everything's coming up goblins.
Yep.
Yep, I'll add it to the list. That's good. I need some new shirt material. I did some research over the weekend. We cannot, in fact, do Blacklight Narnia.
Damn it!
Every few years, they keep making more movies, so they keep re-upping the copyright.
Oh.
It's like never going to expire.
I didn't think of that. Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, bring Ben Barnes back, please. Prince Caspian, now that was a great movie.
Oh, that was a great book.
Listen, all the Narnia books are good, except for the last one.
Yeah.
Just ignore the last one.
Silverchair wasn't my favorite either.
I make fun of the last one.
The Voyage of the Dawn Treader. Awesome.
I make fun of the last one all the time with Kate because when she talks about putting on makeup, I'll be like, yeah, and you'll never get into heaven, you slut! Just like Susan! Wait, what was your suggestion? Do I have it written down? Maybe I have it written down.
I did your suggestion last time. It was up before the end of the stream.
Ooh, also, the Mimic Outhouse.
Mimic Outhouse. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, we could do that. We can definitely do that. That one somehow slipped through my... I must have been doing like 12 other things.
If there are stickers of that, I'm gonna get a bunch, and every time Grimjack stands up, I'm gonna put one on the chair that he's sitting on. Every time. Every single time. Perfect. It'll be so perfect. But then at the bottom here, there's stats. So in each of the epic encounters, these guys all have their own stats, but these are different stat blocks that you can totally use for your goblins. Most of these goblins pretty weak, so this is definitely not like a end game raid if you want to use the stats that are provided here. This is very much like a we're starting our campaign kind of raid.
Like shockingly good AC though.
Yeah, 15 is pretty good with the shield too. Oh, average intelligence. Okay, so
They're as smart as your average villager.
When I was teaching Evil Crossover's son Evil Eyeball to play D&D, I gave them the character sheets from Animal Adventures because that's where I was going to start with my niece and nephew playing that adventure because it's all cute and made for kids. Like everybody's animal themed and what have you. I was like, oh, this is fine. And it's legally distinct magic school with four houses, legally distinct. So I was like, oh, this is fine. And so Evil Crossover Son was like, I want to pick one of the magic users. I'm going to be really smart and I'm going to do what I need to do. So he picked the sorcerer. And then we looked at his dad, Evil Crossover, we were like, what do you want to be? And I was like, I see you as a barbarian. And his son was like, yeah, Dad's just he's just gonna run over there and whack things. That's what he's gonna do. And Evil Eyeball spent the entire time we were playing, every time Evil Crossover was like, I don't know what you're talking about or what you're doing. His son would go, that's because you have lower intelligence than everyone else here. It's just your 10 no mod intelligence. And I was like, damn.
Wow.
I was like, he's average. He's not dumb.
That is a kid that's been waiting to say that for a while. That sounds like. I could see my tiny barbarian saying that.
So yeah, bunch of they got pretty good AC. They're average or below average. They're goblins. Come on, they're just CR quarter. They have their nimble escape and their scimitar and their short bow. This is basically like your basic goblin. I thought that said boobs pilot, and I was like, what? Okay, bye. Get out of here, bot.
You said.
I was like, what?
Oh my god. You said basic goblin, and now I'm picturing one with like a scarf and a pumpkin spice latte.
That's also a good. That's such a good design.
that might also. Yep.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yes, please. Yes, please. Oh. Special trait symbol. Oh, okay. So there is a yes, 100%, 100% that. Our barbarian, the Goblin King, he's just, I think he's got a 12 intelligence. Assumes he's dumb, and then he starts talking to them, and they're like, oh, I don't know how to process this information. You mean you're not?
He like gets out his glasses and puts them on his nose.
Yeah. It's like, wait, you're not a moron? He's like, I'll kill you. And they're like, oh, okay, there's the barbarian in you.
Oh, it's me.
Oh, okay.
Smart, but really, really angry.
Yeah. There's a mini in here that is my favorite kind of mini, which is 2 goblins, one on the other's like shoulders, riding piggyback. It's my favorite kind. One of the minis in one of these boxes is a goblin with a goblin on his shoulders that has a slingshot, and that is what the lobber is.
Oh, I thought that was going to be the goblin version of cavalry.
Honestly, that works too. I assumed that the lobber was going to be he'd have bombs or something, but doesn't seem like it. And they both take damage? Absolutely not. Nope. Listen, you could run them that way, but no. For me, they're doing. I don't even run the same health for mounts and their riders. Like, even if the stat block says like, oh, goblin spider rider. No. I have both their health separately, and if you kill one, the other's still going. You ain't killing both of them. Like, if you take him out at the knees, it's just one goblin down. The other one's coming after you.
One's still there. Remind me never to play in a game that you're DMing.
I also, because I knew that my players I knew some of them were going to metagame really hard. DM Bacon and Valley Vajiria were going to metagame really hard. I roll the health for every creature individually so that they can't guess. And I had them fight Tashlin, who's like one of the town guards, or one of the captains of the guard in Waterdeep, and they wanted to 1v1 her. And she's basically like a CR10 creature. And so they were like, oh, we're going to 1v1 her. They're currently level 8, so our barbarian's like, I'm going to 1v1 her, because she said if someone can beat her in a fight, she'll give them bracers of defense. And I want them. And I'm the strongest one here, so I'm going to do it. And they go to fight, and I hadn't rolled her health yet, so I just took out all the d8s, and I just started rolling them. And I ran out of d8s, so I had to get more, and I rolled some more d8s. And we had people who were not playing in the game yet, but they were like watching. And so Jinakechi, he's like right next to me, so he can see past my DM screen. And he saw me grab more dice, and he goes, "Ha! I'm in danger! Oh no, you're in danger!" And I was like, "Yeah."
This is going to be very, very bad for someone.
Yeah, you don't have to do that. That's why, like, all the health things have an average. You could just run the average. But me, I don't want you to metagame too hard on how much health this dude has, so I roll everybody's health.
I started doing that because the resident bard likes doing math too much. Like, no.
Awaz, hear me out. What if you put them in like a cardboard Subaru?
Wait, wasn't that from the Mario Kart thing?
That's true. You totally could.
I realized afterwards that was Matilda and Edgar, right? I think with the like cardboard tank and the cat.
Yep.
And I realized afterwards, I was like, wait a second, that's Team Rocket.
Yes.
They were spoofing Team Rocket. Well, I guess brilliant, but
perfection, absolute perfection. Somebody knew what they were doing, and we were there for it. Now we have spiders.
We were late for it, but we were there.
Yeah. I got shot. It's fine.
Yeah, sorry I shot you.
It's all good. I said Happy Father's Day to Umjawa and Beats, and Beats was like, "Oh, sorry, I wasn't there to hang out with you." And I was like, I only got shot once. I'm not gonna die from being shot once. I'll be fine. Oh, yeah, I see what they did.
7 damage. You're fine.
Yeah, I'm fine. It's not like the new character that I roll. Oh, that's what I was gonna say before. It was. I went on D&D Beyond and I made the botanist subclass from Archibald's Archive, the guy who makes the piranha plants, because I'm gonna run that character in a game that DM Bacon is starting up, and we rolled our health, and with my con mod, I have 3 health, and I had only finished half the subclass because D&D Beyond started freaking out, and he goes, "Hey," DM Bacon goes, how about you just put in like, you just finish whatever the next level up step you got to, because I don't think you're gonna live long enough to check out the rest of the subclass." And I was like, "Hey, come on! I can live with 3 health. I'll be fine."
You are not going to be fine.
No, he's gonna kill me immediately. I'm like, "But I already worked out my backstory and all this stuff." And then he was like, oh, hold on. I don't know if you've picked your background yet, but we're doing it in the Thylia campaign setting, which is like Greek myth, but with like 1 letter changed everywhere.
Oh my.
And he was like, okay, so VF actually ran a campaign for him and DM Shin and a bunch of other people that we all know, in that campaign. And so when he was like, "I want to run a campaign again, and the only other setting that I know of is this one," and I was like, "Oh, this is gonna be so good." And he's like, "Listen, I know you all can go out and get this book if you want, so like you could spoil yourselves," but he's like, "I haven't even read to the end of the book yet. I only know up until the point where my campaign stopped, so like you could all get the book, but please don't do that." And I was like, "I understand where you're coming from, and I do own the book. I won't open it because I don't care like that, but like the rest of the rest of the party that DM Bacon is running is 1000% not going to go out of their way to find this book. They are not those kind of people." I was like, "I feel like this is oddly pointed, but it's not something that I would do anyway." I own that book, but I'm not going to read it. Do you know how many other books I have to read before that? Basically, like the god of the forge is not Vulcan, he's Volcon. And I'm like, wow, okay. It's still pretty close.
That's so terrible.
Oh, hell, juice! He's got like a gamer fuel or a gamer subs like drink and sunglasses and the hat like tilted diagonally.
This is hurting my soul at a deep level.
It's perfection. I love that suggestion. Oh, okay, I'm gonna move on now. Okay, the lobber I was thinking was gonna like throw bombs or maybe had like a slingshot, and because he's holding a slingshot in the mini, but they were like, no, you just get to shoot his short bow twice. And I understand if you want to say that like that goblin on top is pulling back the slingshot and it's gonna do the same damage, because the slingshot does do less damage than a bow, but still weird. You get a spider mount. It's got web sense. I had a conversation about web sense specifically with decks recently, because at the very beginning-ish, well, maybe not the very beginning, when they hit like level 3, I think it was, DM Bacon in my campaign, because he's a shadow sorcerer, he got that the ability to cast darkness, and so they went up against a big spider mound thing, and he was like, "I'm gonna cast darkness and we're gonna go in there and we're gonna sneak around." And WebSense, the idea of WebSense was not in the stat block for the spiders I was looking at. It was in their flavor text. And I was like, this is definitely something that should be in your stat block. It is an important part of the character. If someone touches the web they're touching, they know where they are. Like, that's not flavor. That's important for gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that that is here. Oh, They have the poison that just knocks you out. It doesn't kill you. That tracks. And they can shot web. Ooh, here are the two people that I cared about. They're supposed to be two unseelie sisters that protect one of the kings. What do?
Yeah.
Oh, they're CR3. Okay, that makes me feel a little better. What do they got? They got Acid Splash and Minor Illusion. Okay. Then 2 times a day, Burning Hands, Charm Person, Sleep, and Suggestion. Plus, they have Magic Resistance. Okay, it says that they're there to buff their leader. None of those are buffs.
None of these are buffs.
Not a single one. I mean, I guess you could Minor Illusion like a shield on him, but it's not going to do anything.
Yeah, none of this is. Yeah, but they have Suggestion, which means that they tell other people that they're there to buff him.
Ooh. Got you. I like it. Oh, and their staves do force damage. Okay. That's something. Oh, and they can dodge as a I'm gonna steal that reaction. For anybody who does divination magic, I'm gonna steal that. If someone targets them with an attack, they can use a free dodge reaction. Interesting. I like that. I mean, I would also maybe just give them blur or what is it? Mirror image ? Same idea. Many legs, the giant centipede. Oh, come on. I thought this was going to be a scary dude. How's it going to paralyze anyone? He has 4 health. I'm not scared at all.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
also.
Oh man, I'm so disappointed.
Oh, and it doesn't bite you; it pukes on you.
Interesting. Okay, 3d6
That's
poison
horrifying
damage.
And also not how centipedes work.
No, it's not. Poison damage. 3d6 poison is a lot for baby characters, but like he only has 4 health. They're gonna slap him to death.
Yeah, they're never gonna find out what he can do.
Oh, that's so disappointing. Okay, let's see if the Goblin Kings are actually scary. Oh, he has 90 health. That's a lot compared to everything else we've run into so far. It's better than 4.
Mm-hmm. I love that his name is Sad Guts.
Wait, he just has spear? He can parry. Oh, he doesn't need to see them to parry. You will 100% anime character this up. He blocked my blow? Okay, that's all right. Parry's a normal thing, but like, okay. Anime character it up, my guy. All right, what do the forest goblins have? Soldiers. I'm pretty sure this is just going to be the same exact. Yep, same stat block as the other one. You could have just put soldiers for both of them. Man, this
Or stay above.
Same thing. Yeah. All right. Giant frogs. Here we go. Fun stuff. Amphibious. Okay.
18 hit points. That's better than some of the goblins.
Yeah. Okay. 48. Okay. Standing leap. All right.
Wait a second. They're so stupid they can't even understand a language?
Oh, man. Okay. I ran into... Dex is guest starring as a bunch of bad guys in my campaign currently. And he has a giant ice toad that his character's riding as a ice elemental. And he was talking to me. He was like, so... like, I can tell my mount what to do, and I'm going to say, sure, we will assume that your mount is trained because you're basically like a captain of this group. So we can assume your mount is trained, but I'm going to tell you, he dumb. He not intelligence too dumb, but he's dumb. So sometimes you might be like, do the thing, and instead he might be like, tasty morsel in front of me, and hop towards that. And he was like, you mean he won't listen to me sometimes? I'm like, he's dumb. He's really dumb. So I'm going to say these frogs, probably they just like hop off somewhere. Maybe they eat the frog chewers. Maybe the frog chewers have to eat them from the inside while they're being eaten. An Ouroboros of eating. like bite your booty. The many legs has to be like hiding somewhere and waiting for someone to walk past to be like, ha ha! Because if he doesn't paralyze them, he's getting murdered. There's no way he's not getting murdered with 4 health. I do like Swallow here, but I mean, acid damage, cool. Not a lot, but I mean, if one of your players gets swallowed and they're level 1, they're probably dying anyway. So, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. For the Goblin Frog Chewer, leather armor, drugged state. I didn't know that was that could be part of your AC.
You have goblins on PCP.
Ah, they've all eaten tree frog venom. Okay. They have rage because of it. Oh, okay. So they don't eat your giant frogs. They eat the frogs that make you go on trips. Okay. Okay.
I love how it's like they take half damage. It doesn't make them immune to the actual damage. They just can't feel the pain.
Yeah, it's true. And it's not specified as... Oh, it's just specified as not being magic. I was going to say it's not bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. They could have just written from all non-magical damage. Okay, moving on. I'm not going to bitch about that. Goblin Brutes! These are the big guys who watch their king. Ooh, they've got Relentless. I like that. Except, I will tell you from experience, whenever a creature has Relentless or Undead Fortitude, I will 100% forget that it has that trait as it dies. Every time. I've never ran a Relentless or Undead Fortitude properly ever. Oh. He has multi-attack, but the second one is always at disadvantage. Nah, man. Beat up your players, okay? Don't be scared. Beat him. But here's the masked one. Ooh, he has AC 18. Okay. Can he do anything special? Oh, his mask is a magic weapon. He has blah, blah, blah. Oh, he makes all saving throws at advantage. Oh, that's not what I thought that mask was going to do.
Me neither. I am disappointed.
Oh, okay. It has a second ability, though. While he has the mask on... Oh, they're not saying it has the mask on, but I'm going to consider this power part of the mask, because it makes him... I mean, that would basically make almost a legendary item. But whenever you cast a spell that targets him, you roll a d8. On a roll of 1, the spell rebounds on you. I might just put those together and make that like a rare item or something. Oh, he's got buff spells. Why does he have buff spells?
Did they get them mixed up?
That's weird. Whack. And I mean, does he really need the buff spells if you're fighting him at like level 1 or 2 and he's swinging for 1d10 plus 4 twice? That's strong.
Yeah. Also, how ridiculous is it that he's got a +4 to strength, dex, whiz, and charisma?
It's true.
That's bonkers.
This guy rolled real good. But that was All Out Goblin War. I will definitely say that at some point I'm going to unbox the actual Epic Encounters boxes. And then hopefully I'll be able to run people through them at some point. Originally, I was thinking, oh, I think that'll be my plan for what I run you guys through. But then I was like, no. I got to run you guys through my trials so I can test them. I think that makes the most sense. And also it gives me an excuse to actually write them up in greater detail and share them with the world. I feel bad that I haven't shared enough with the world. And you guys are giving me like 20 gift subs a stream before I even get started. I need to give you back more.
You do plenty.
I will say again, if any of you are watching this on YouTube, or if you're watching this on Twitch and you want to come over to YouTube momentarily, we are currently, assuming nobody has subbed since I've said this before, but we're only 9 subs away from the next giveaway on YouTube. So if you make those 9 subs, I'm going to send some lucky winner. Usually how I run the giveaways is I use the prize wheel thing, and I just put in all the names of the people who have entered, and then whoever wins, you're going to get sent a set of Pathfinder book posters that I got at Comic-Con a couple years ago. They're double-sided, and each of them has the cover of one of the Pathfinder books, because while not technically D&D, it's pretty much D&D. I think those fit pretty well with the giveaways that I'd want to be doing here anyway. It makes sense. I know. I pinged her. Don't worry. I actually pinged her before you guys.
I figured. Well, yeah, but as also as the designer, I'd like to thank her.
It's true. Yes. It is still at least 96% you. So the next, I was hoping that VF was going to join us for the next part, because I definitely think this is something up his alley. But like I said, normally we've been able to get through one like fully written adventure, but this particular adventure, All Out Goblin War, it wasn't necessarily like a fully fleshed out adventure. It was just kind of like, yo, if you have these 2 things, you can put them together. So the next one we're going to look at is a system agnostic adventure, and it happens to actually be a zine. I didn't realize that's how the author was presenting it until I opened it and looked at it. But me and Awaz had this chat earlier where we're like, nobody ever votes for zines, and then she was like, I mean, I vote for them and you vote for them, we just get outvoted. I was like, you're right, but I'll just fit it into somewhere else where it makes sense. I just realized it's upside down. Whoops. Okay, before I switch the screen over. Okay, there we go. So this one is just a single page that you fold into 8ths, and it has, boop, all right. The adventure is called A Field of the Tallest Grass, and it's not necessarily adventure. This is like a setting that you can go to, and then it has some fields and it has some stuff that your players can do. You can take any of these sections like separately and fit them into your campaign however you want to fit them into, or you could use them all in one go. But for those of you on YouTube, you can drop the description and it'll take you to the itch page for this. I can do this now because I switched. Haha. I will give you guys the link on Twitch. A Field of the Tallest Grass. Because you can pick this up for yourself. I didn't ask about Dragon Bamboo. I don't even know what Dragon Bamboo is. But if you would like to pick this up for yourselves, you totally can here at the author's website. Well, their itch page for this specifically. And this was part of one of the bundles that I went through in a Twitch stream way back, and the links are posted, I think, both on Patreon and the actual YouTube videos, but I'm not sure at the moment which bundle it was from, because itch.io has the worst search system. So whenever I would get an itch bundle, I would just sit there for like a week streaming as I went through and cataloged what was in it, because searching through stuff in a bundle on itch is an awful, miserable experience. So I would just make spreadsheets, and you can go down the different pages and figure out what's actually in it. The only problem is, and I've realized this after I'd done all that work, is that itch can, after a bundle is over, remove things and also add them. Which is crazy to me for like something that you're paying for to change like that. But that does happen occasionally. So my lists may not be 100% correct anymore, but they're probably still like 99.8% correct. But this is a field of the tallest grass. And for those of you in the roundtable, I shared the PDF a couple days ago.
Oh, you might have to scroll.
Hold on, I'll share it again.
No, I'm joking.
Also, VF gave us a lot of good ideas for just like a one-page adventure things, where it's like a picture of a setting and then some like bubbles that are blah, blah, blah. So eventually we will go through those as well. That could be a whole stream into and of itself.
Mm-hmm.
Those are cool. But yeah. Would you? Okay. The way I have this arranged right now is that the cover page is on the bottom, and I'm reading that whole row, those 4 panels.
Oh god,
that
I'm
way.
so confused.
And then I'll flip it over. You have to spin it to be able to read it.
Oh god, my brain. Okay. Yep. I see it.
Would you like to read the intro that's on the back cover? So the one all the way to the left, if you have a field of the tallest grass on the bottom?
The field fades in memory with each day's travel. After 2 days, its reflected golden tint no longer lingers on far-off clouds. Perhaps it is gone, or perhaps it will sway gently through all of the ages to come.
Spooky. Oh, come here. Nope. Yep. Nope. There you go. Sorry. Fix the music. I was like, okay.
That didn't make sense.
I think they're going for like a Field of Dreams vibe, where like it's there when you need it, and then it goes away when you don't need it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that DonnieDynamo describes this on the itch page is like, oh, this is a place without combat, where there's like no threat of anything. It's just a good place to go and experience things. But some of these things you can totally change into the combat or the bad things if you wanted to. It could be just a village that you enter that looks completely idyllic, but it's actually not. All of that's just up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, the next panel, the field's a lush and coarse sea of golden grass. Once inside the field, the stalks and stems seem to scrape the sky above. After wandering for hours through the formless maze, you find a figure in a small clearing. Thea, the last in the field. She sits quietly in a rocking chair in the center of the clearing. They have warm, dark eyes. She hums to herself gently. The grass at the edge of the clearing sways faintly to the tune. They have a secret. They will share it for an unspoken price. That doesn't seem like there's no conflict there to me.
Why do they keep going back and forth between she and they?
That's a very good question. Okay, since they're going back and forth, it makes me feel like, so in Elden Ring, the people who have like basically god blood in them, the divine blood, because their body is tied to like the divine, they're like compelled to do something. So some of the divine people destroy their bodies and like inhabit a puppet or something similar, like a new construct body. And when a big soul is inhabiting a construct like that, like you can see like a double of whatever their construct's face is, but it's like ethereal next to them because like they don't fit
Mm-hmm.
all the way inside the body, and that's the vibe I'm getting from Thea the Last in the Field.
Yeah. Yeah, like it's clearly there's a purpose for it. But like, what does that even mean?
I'm like, this one's you've been wandering for if I met a weird old lady in the middle of a field that I'd been wandering through for hours, like, that's a witch. That's a fey being of some kind. That's not a normal
Doesn't say
lady.
she's old.
Ooh, that's true. Ooh, also true. Oh, younger is even creepier if she's in the rocking chair. Oh,
So I was thinking.
oh no. So
Like one of those kids, you look at the eyes and you're like, oh, you're not a child. I don't know what you are, but it's not a child.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't. There's plenty of conflict to be had here if you want there to be. Also, like, an unspoken price. Like, this is a devil you're making a deal with.
She just holds out one chubby hand.
Oh,
You choose what to give her.
ooh. Listen, this is the kind of stuff that I suspect VF mostly uses to like make his campaigns. Like just a little bit of a gist of something somewhere, and bam, he's in there. He doesn't need much of anything else. He's also very big on when he preps. He was like, "Yo, for your weekly session, like we got into a chat in my server over my campaign because he used to play in it. He used to play Nails, the other paladin in the campaign, and then he left because of the time commitment. And a bit after that, he was like, he was having this discussion. He was like, okay, so like I have a rule where for my weekly session, I will never prepare for more than an hour. Like that's the amount of time I'm willing to give it. And at the time, there's actually in the server, y'all can't see it because you're not also Echo Seekers, but on the Discord server, there's a channel just called Office Hours, and I would show my players how much more time they had collectively to bother me over the week by putting up pictures of the cycle of the moon. And I was like, I had to start doing that because VF was like, oh yeah, I'll never go past an hour. And I was like, last week alone, 18 hours I was helping one of you with your character outside of the game. And he was like, no. And I was like, I have the receipts. And he was like, you can't possibly have spent that much time. And I was like, I did. And he goes, oh, you have a problem. And I was like, I know. That is why I started the Office Hours channel. So highly recommend that as well. Like you can have office hours for not campaign time for your players to talk about the campaign, but like you got to set a limit.
Yeah.
I feel like none of us bother you that much, so I'm happy for you.
Yeah, I'm usually having to bother you guys and be like, do you want something to be happening with your character? Like, is everything okay?
Would you like to take a field in dreams?
Oh, heck yeah. You lay down in the field. I am not lying down in that field.
Yeah. If I was
Thea.
lost for hours, not happening.
You lay down. I feel like maybe this happens before you see Thea.
Oh, could be.
I don't know how this thing folds.
True. I don't know either. There are instructions on the itch page, but I didn't print it, so I never looked at them.
You lay down in the field to rest and doze off, staring up at the sky through the infinitely tall stalks of grass. What do you dream of? Roll a d12 or choose from the list below. Shadow, sickle, return, friend, embrace, seer, briar, loss, home, wall, meal, or garden. those are some good options for like various thematic things.
I would even say, like, if your players are going to have they're going someplace where they might have a vision, like having them roll on here and then you telling them what their vision is. It doesn't even necessarily have to be related to them. They just see something happening elsewhere using one of these will definitely freak them out.
Yeah.
I'm also a really big fan of explaining when my players have a vision that it may come true, but it might be somewhere else. Like, maybe a different version of you would do these things. Like a possible future. And then they'll be like, no, what? Huh? And then they'll think about it all the time. I like that. I like scaring people. All right, I'm going to flip the thing over. Whoop, whoop. So that we're just starting with work in the field on the left. And I might as well just finish it. Along one edge of the field is a large mill overlooking a small town. The sun rises and turns the field to shimmering gold. Farmers and millers bearing carts and tools make a leisurely parade out of the town towards work. Anyone who works a day in the field is welcome to spend the night in town. The party rolls a single polyhedral die of their choice. The rolled value equals their number of hours worked. The party receives all rewards on the table at and below the rolled value.
It's a D20.
Yeah.
Apparently.
I guess you could start at D6. I mean, if you used a D8, it'd be weird. Interesting. But yeah. Interesting. Oh, I think the way it's written, I think they mean one of your party members' choice. I think is what he meant. But that's definitely not what he wrote. I also like that you're in fact just you just click role playing, just working in the field. Ooh, I think you might want to read some of these options though.
1 through 3 is a day's worth of fair wages. 4 to 6 is a warm and hearty meal of your choosing. 7 or 8 is free medical treatment while you remain in town. 10 to 12 is double pay, but the field forever claims one of your happiest memories. Or 13 through 20, which is a fair amount of space on that range. The mill steward confronts you for displacing local workers.
How dare you, scab!
The mill steward has no face.
It's wearing that mask from the last adventure.
It's just no face from Spirited Away.
Oh my god, yes. Yes! I like that so much more. Yes. Yes. Oh, I like that so much more. Yo, we gotta use this when we start doing Obojima. We have to. I don't know why I said it like that. Obojima. I'm not a robot, I assure you. I am not AI. It's not happening. Coming from someone who does speak some Japanese, that's even funnier.
It's like your brain melted a little bit
there. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh my god. Oh, sorry everyone. That was bad. But I just love that all these are like normal things, and then it takes one of your happiest memories from you. Okay.
See, I think this could have gone. They could have made this so much creepier. I would make this so much creepier. This is exactly the kind of low-key, creepy psychological thing that I would have so much fun. See, you're lucky because my campaign is not using any of the creepiness that I would naturally inject into a campaign because I don't want to freak out all of my coworkers.
I put it in there, but also I don't know how I didn't realize that before. This is a Courage the Cowardly Dog episode. This is a Courage the
Yeah.
Cowardly Dog episode. Oh my god.
This is like Children of the Corn meets Welcome to Night Vale.
Oh my god.
Like,
Ooh. Sorry. Wow. Oh, okay, that last burp came out of my nose. Oh, that hurt.
I heard that.
Ow. There's a magic item here that you could just tell your players about, or maybe they can wander the corn for days and days and days and days and days and find. But there's the Sickle of the Tranquil Grass Sea. Some of the workers tell tales of a magical tool lost for ages in the depths of the field. The sickle can cut through any crops with no resistance. The sickle will break if ever used in violence. They say it's bound and that the sickle may only change hands through an act of kindness. And then, like, there's, like, some weird, like, death roots under there. What's happening in this field?
No, that's not the sickle you make. You make the sickle of the tranquil grass that won't cut grass, but if you've done some horrible dark deed that nobody else knows about, and you sleep in the grass, you wake up and it's hanging over your neck. You get one dex save before it comes slicing down at you.
Where is DM Shin? Okay, this is what needs to go into Cardna.
Yeah. Oh my god, Cardna could have so much fun with this.
God. All right. Would you like to take the last cube? I guess technically cube, yes, but I was trying to think of what the word for a group of 8 is, and I have a quadrant. Nope, that's 4. I don't know what the word for 8 is. Now that I think about it. Octant. Yep.
Eyes in shadow. Night lingers as you leave town and meander into the field. Why are you going back into the field?
I was just about to say that. Where are you going?
What?
Why are you running? Come back.
In shadow and periphery? That's not how you use that word. In shadow on the periphery, you spot eyes in the grass. Manifold. Also not how you use manifold. Manifold, keen and bright. They shift and dance in the darkness. You are not alone beneath the moon's silver gaze, and perhaps there is some comfort to be had in that.
This is how you introduce your nice cryptid, or like man thing, swamp thing, whatever you want to call him. Just chilling out in the
Gray
field.
Witnesses.
Yes, the Gray Witnesses. They're just chilling out in the field, and you at first you're real scared, and then you're just like, you know what? This isn't so bad. I feel safe here. Maybe this is when you lay down in the field. Sailor Moth, yes. Oh my god. Creepshow Kate would love to add any kind of Mothman or Moth person. She's actually already hit me up with like 4 different homebrew moth races.
Dude, Mothman has been coming up in literally everything the last couple of weeks.
You've been playing Twisted
everywhere.
Cryptids.
I cannot get away from it. That was the first thing, but it's come up like 6 other places since then.
He just wants to be loved.
Well, you know, a lot of the myths about Mothman are that he actually like tries to stop something bad from happening to people. Like he protects people whose like cars have broken down and stuff like that. It's not like Chupacabra. Like Mothman is different.
He's different. Oh, it's so cute. Let him live. He'll be here to help. Oh.
Maybe that's who's in the field.
Yes, I like this. Because drawn to the fields because when the moonlight or the sunlight hits it, they said it looks like shimmering gold. It's like a light that he's coming for.
Mm-hmm. Or the sickle hanging over the field at night looks like the moon.
He just wants to get lamp. Yes.
Maybe he's the keeper of the sickle.
Ooh, and you have to do something nice for him so he can help you out.
Or just not attack him.
True. Yeah, that's probably all it takes at this point. He reaches out to you through the crop, and like you see like this mangled, all like scorched and cut and ripped hand, and you get scared, but you realize he's not trying to hurt you or anything. It's just everyone keeps attacking him. Oh, we made sympathetic. We made extra sympathetic Mothman. Oh, this is cute. I like this. Pay him in bone. I mean, yep. You could do that too. Let's go back to the bad place.
Does he have leukemia?
Maybe he has a disease.
This is reminding me of that X-File about the Sin Eater.
Was it an elephant?
What? Was what an elephant?
The Sin Eater.
No, it was a person.
Oh. I was thinking it was like the Dream Eaters. They're like tapirs, but they float and eat your nightmares.
Oh, that's adorable.
They just float all around. There's a Pokemon based on them too, but I cannot tell you the name of it. I think they're probably like Hindu creatures originally.
Sounds like it.
I'm like, do they have tapir in India? And I'm like, probably.
Is it tapir?
I think so, question mark.
I always thought it was tapir.
Oh, it could be. Baby meat. No. Oh, what a cute little... Yo, Mothra, like Mommy Mothra is like peak character design, okay? All the memes of like Mothra sitting on Godzilla's like shoulder and like yelling at the manager because they didn't get Godzilla's food right. Mwah, peak. Absolute peak fiction. Oh yeah, Hypno and Drowsy too. But there's I think it's a ghost. It's either a ghost. I think it's a ghost type Pokemon that's like half a tapir in like a pink cloud, and he eats your dreams. I don't know what it's called. That's like past the generation of Pokemon where I have any like memory space to remember their names. And I don't mean like computer memory. I mean like actually in my brain. There's no more room for Pokemon names. Digimon names, I might make an exception, but Pokemon, nah. There's no more.
No more.
But yeah, we made it through the 2 adventures I wanted to get through. Thank you, Muna! Oh, I didn't know Muna evolved. Oh, because the clouds look like a moon. Okay, that tracks. Yep, that tracks.
I've gotta say, I love the art and the basic concept for this. I don't like the execution so much, but I could definitely tweak this and I could see this in my campaign.
I'm definitely at least at some point gonna use the Field of Dreams thing. It probably won't be in the field, but I'm gonna use this for visions. My players still talk to me about their visions all the time. I gave them visions of possible futures a while back. Talk about them all the time, and None of them are here, right? Let me just open up chat. None of them are here. None of them are here currently. They're possible futures. Okay?
Nobody's saying anything. Shifty eyes.
I was doing it. And then I was like, camera's not on. Doesn't matter. Nobody can see it. But you can feel it. You can feel it through the computer screen. I know. So we finished the 2 adventures. I guessed sort of right on how long these would take. So I'm getting better at it. But that means it is time for our poll for next week's topics. I'm going to post the options in the YouTube chat, and I'm going to make the poll on Twitch. But next week topic options. If you don't know how this works, you're watching this right now, you can give me your answer. If you're watching this as a VOD and it's still within 24 hours from when the stream ended, you can still put in your vote. And I will take all of your votes now. At the beginning, I was just taking a community vote. No, you guys are important. You're the reason why we get to be here every week and do this. So
and there's more of you now.
Yeah, and there's so many more of you now too as well. There's so many more. But next week's topic choices are... Wait, no, I forgot how to make a poll. That's not it. There you go. Got it. Next week's topic options are articles, homework. So homework is anything that's really big that we won't be able to finish in one stream, but it will never take up more than 5 streams ever again. 7 episodes to get through one topic. Made us lose a lot of steam at the beginning that I didn't realize until much later. Though Clubs was right. VF was like, 7 episodes is a lot. I was like, yeah, you right. Next one's items. We haven't done a good items one. The items one that was all based on like 80s items. Me and DM Shin actually went and bought the full set of 80s items. So at some point that might be like a homework assignment or something, but they were pretty good. The next one's one-shot supplements. So that's like, it could be a bunch of stuff in one go, but it'll take the whole stream to get through. Then the last one is tools. Honestly, for tools, I'm hoping whenever we get to do tools next, I'm hoping that DM Speedy joins us, because he uses this. He brought it to work one day. Well, he was doing it at work one day. He uses, I don't think it's Dungeon Alchemist, but it's one of the other programs where like you tell it how many squares you want your map to be. And then you get to pop in like, oh, I want this square to be like somebody's house. And it procedurally generates the inside of each of the squares. And then like you can tweak the elevation or like the contents of each square and what have you. And I feel like learning to use that would be a great help to many a DM if you're playing VTT and your VTT can hold a 3D space. Like if you're using Foundry or something. Speaking of Foundry, DM Bacon would also be a great person to have for that, because he's literally made video games in Foundry. Like when he says, he'll be, oh yeah, I'll just make this quick game. Well, we're just gonna, one of the people in the Whale Pact really loves Spider-Man, so he's like, oh, we'll do like a Spider-Man one-shot. He made a video game with a working cityscape that like we could web swing around. And he had the animations and everything for all of our characters. Like we fought a tank that actually shot at us. And I was like, what, bro? That's not, I don't, like, your level of what's easy is so much higher than mine. And so, like, the last bosses we fought in the D&D campaign that DM Bacon was running had like multiple layers, and they were literally like when he would be like, oh yeah, he shoots like a banishment orb at you. Like a banishment orb would come and suck up our characters, and it would play an animation. Or like, oh yeah, this eyeball shoots a lightning bolt. Like a lightning bolt would come out and pierce our characters, and they would fall over. And I was like, you keep making video games. Like, there's a whole video game, dude. And so, at the very beginning of DM Roundtable, one of the first things we said we'd all do was the Empowered. and we do a one shot and what have you. And DM Bacon was like, I'll do it. I'll make it in Foundry. And I was like, yo, chill. Like, I don't want you to make us a video game for like one night. I don't think it's super cool, but I don't know if that's worth it. And at the beginning, I felt like he was annoyed with that, but when he said we're going to do the Thylia campaign, he was like, guys, I realize that I've been going a little overboard and I can't really maintain that level, so I'm not gonna put in like 3D animations and what have you. And I was like, good for you, man.
Yay!
Good for you. Like, don't get us wrong. Amazing. Like, he rebuilt the town of Tristram from Diablo with like basic assets, and we played that for another guy's birthday campaign. Like, he's building whole video games. Like, you don't have to go that hard. We're already impressed. We were impressed when he mapped in Foundry our spells to keyboard commands. So like you could hit 2 and your character would shoot a fireball. Or like our barbarian has the reckless swing thing. So you'd be like, oh yeah, just hit 4 on your keyboard, Woody. And Woody would start, his actual character model would spin around and a tornado came out of him. And we were like, what the? Whoa! Like, you don't have to go that hard to impress us. We're already impressed. We're impressed that you can just run Foundry off your own website.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went on a rant on how good and amazing DM Bacon is. I do that a lot. DM Bacon's amazing. I want him to come back. But I would love if he would come teach us about Foundry. I'm actually not sure what I want to. I'm the only one I know I'm probably not going to vote for is Tools. Personally, I don't think I'm going to vote for Tools because I would like Bacon to be there for that. And I don't know if I can get him for that right now. I'm going to see him next weekend. No. Yeah. Not this weekend, next weekend. But it won't be for, I mean, I'm sure there'll be D&D talk, but it won't be for D&D. He was here at the very beginning.
Not for D&D.
It's true. Not anymore. Everything's for D&D. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
That was good though. We made it through.
We did.
We made it through the thing on time.
Yeah, it was like almost perfectly on time. That was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm putting in articles as the vote for the community so far. Also, for those of you who watch this VOD later, if you're watching the VOD like way after the stream actually happened, feel free to put in like what you want to see. It might not go into that week's vote, but like I'll keep track of it. Don't worry about that. Like I'm looking. I want to give stuff to you guys. So, yeah. Don't feel bad that you've missed the vote for next week's topic. Put in what you want to see. I might even start counting those as preemptive votes.
Whoa.
I'm getting better at well, I mean, I do like spreadsheets. I'm not as good at spreadsheeting as DM Shin, for sure. But I do like spreadsheets.
Not everybody can love spreadsheets as much as DM Shin.
It's true.
I thought I loved spreadsheets. I have a passing acquaintance with spreadsheets compared to DM Shin.
I was so happy when I set up the color coding on the on the TTRPG BGM list. So like depending on what where I thought that you would be playing this music, depending on what you type, it changes the colors. I was like, bro, I'm so good at spreadsheets. And then DM Shin started sending me character sheets for Cardinal, and I was like,
oh my god, yeah.
I've seen a spreadsheet before. Like that's my new level.
I was like, I don't know how he did most of these things.
And he'll be like, oh yeah, I stayed up till like, I was up super late last night just trying to figure out how to make this box reference this box and do this thing for me. And I'll be like, okay, like I'm never going to get that into spreadsheets, but that's how I feel about working on D&D Beyond stuff. Like when I have to make a subclass work and I don't understand why the formula they told me to use doesn't work, I'll just sit there for like 4 hours being like, I'm going to make you do what I want you to do.
But it should work.
I ran into that when I was making the botanists, like how you determine the 2-hit bonus. Like, I don't know what I was doing wrong on it, but it just kept adding pluses in everywhere. And I was like, no, I just want like 1d8 plus whatever, man. That took me like 2.5 hours to get correct. And it was just through trial and error because all the tutorials and all the FAQs told me to do something that didn't work.
Yep.
Please.
So frustrating.
Kind of like the home brewery, where their tutorial and FAQ is on the homepage, and it's almost all wrong. Not that we're bitter or anything.
Yeah, that was extremely frustrating. Not gonna lie. That was annoying as hell.
Oh, we also unlocked, because of the hype train that Dex and AWAS started. Again, you guys are absolutely amazing. The fact that you guys did it one right after the other definitely makes me feel like you're working together, even though you say you're not. But we did unlock a new emote because of that, which is Scary Cat? No, Cat Scare, where this cute little kitten is actually an Eldritch Abomination.
Love it.
Which is great for D&D talk, to be honest.
It really is.
I think you guys are neat too. I will also say that I am unfortunately gonna have to move the thank you stream next week to Friday instead of Sunday, because I gotta go to a kid's birthday party, so I can then recruit him for D&D.
Priorities.
I'm building the kids' Avengers, okay? It's happening.
Yeah. Also, there will be new designs in the shop very shortly.
I'm gonna go check out these new designs. Whoa. Oh, Twitch is freaking out because there's so many new... So, okay, right before the stream started, I went and fixed up the scrolling text that appears during the thank you streams because I have so many new subs that I have to thank. And then I started the stream up and you guys started the hype train and I was like, oh, that line's about to get so much longer. Like, I'll fix that. I gotta fix that now. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
What are you doing, my dude?
You guys already made me cry before we even started. Had to compose myself. Yeah, thank you guys for voting in the poll. Again, if you didn't join the Twitch like physical poll that exists, well, I guess technically it's not physical, but the Twitch pinned poll while it was running, you still have about 24 hours to put in your votes. You still got plenty of time. And again, if you're watching these streams way later, put in what you want to see. It'll probably get added to the next vote that happens. I do read all the comments. We don't get too many comments on these particular streams, but like I read them all. even if they're bad. Even if you're insulting me, sometimes I pin those ones, and I know that makes you very confused. But I like that.
That is very confusing.
Like the other day, someone, I said it to Evil Crossover, because Evil Crossover has a huge YouTube channel. He's got like 400,000 subscribers. Most of them are children, but he's got like 400,000 subscribers. And sometimes, like, you get a person on there that just insults the crap out of you. And I was like, yo, I posted a comment on one of my videos the other day that was like, this is why not everyone should make content. So I just pinned it, and I laughed to myself about it. And he was like, yo, I do that too. When I get a really mean person, I pin it. And then they're like, wait, no, I was being mean. And I'll be like, okay. Oh, interesting. Is the stream still running? According to OBS, it is currently not running.
Oh no.
Nope, Twitch is still running. I don't know why. It did this to me last too. It says that YouTube is not responding and that no stream is running, but like I had the laptop open. I was watching the stream and I was like, I don't believe you.
Definitely here. Peculiar.
Well, that being said, we will see you all next week. If any of you out there want to find DM Lacara, you got to go through me and DM Shin and DM Speedy, and VF is also on our server, and VF and DM Bacon. He's also on the server too. Just none of them talk.
VF doesn't even know me.
It's true.
No, if you want to get a hold of me, you can go through my beloved warlocks.
And if you want to hang out with me tomorrow, I'll be on at 8 streaming more Horizon Forbidden West. I'm close to the end of the game and happy about it because, like, after 20 hours in that game, I can tell that they stopped listening to the playtesters and, like, everything important is broken, and it's making me so angry. Because we're like 100 hours in now, and the amount of times I've gone to do something and it just doesn't work anymore for no reason is mind-boggling. My tools don't work. I'm suddenly stuck on the floor for no reason.
Oh no.
At first I was like,
Okay.
you know what? Maybe I'm just bad. And then I was like, no, I don't think this is me being bad. As like Aloy starts rubber banding because her foot's stuck in the floor. And I'm like, nah, I'm just getting killed by the game now. The game's just like, stop it. Stop it.
Why are you hitting yourself? The basic goblin is live. And Awaz, I am not avoiding the mimic outhouse. I have several options that Okami needs to pick which one he wants to be the.
Oh my god! He's so basic. Oh, this is fantastic.
You gotta share it so people know what you're evilly cackling.
Oh, I gotta know. That's fantastic. Wait, what's up, Elite Wolf? I'm gonna post it in the YouTube chat in case you just want to go directly there. Same on the Twitch chat. Oh, it's fantastic. And I'm gonna put it in Tabletop Schmapletop. Thank you for providing me endless joy. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
And
it's the particularly dissipated look on her face that I think is the real clincher.
Fantastic. It's fantastic. But we'll be back next week for more DM Roundtable. Elite Wolf, if you missed the poll, the topics are... Oh, no, don't go to my own channel. That is where I am already. Stop that. these are the topics for next week's episode. You can put in your response here, or you can leave it in the Discord, or you can leave it in the YouTube comments on the VOD or what have you within 24 hours, and that vote will get added to the poll responses. Polls open for 24 hours after the stream ends so that all the other DMs can get their votes in. And there's tons of you now, so we accept all your votes. And that will determine what we're talking about next week.
Yeah.
But either way, I think we're out for tonight. Thank you, everybody, for dropping by. I just realized I never put out the subscribe raccoon. Sorry. Subscribe if you liked what you saw. People like. If you want to see more content like this, I'll see
Hit the
you
buttons.
guys and gals later in the next one. Hit all those buttons. Yo, AWAS, where did that emote come from? With jamming the A button. Can everyone use button mash? Is that a regular emote? Because I need that. No, it comes from some other server. I gotta figure out how to make one of those. Okay. Bye, everyone. Bye, Twitch.
Bye.
Bye, YouTube. I'm waving, but nobody can see it. I know I will no longer be